The area outside the Logan Square Blue Line station will likely look very different in a few years. In addition to a possible redesign as part of the Bicentennial Improvements Project, the site is being considered for a transit-oriented development.
There's a possibility here for more commerce, for more stores. There's an opportunity for some more residential and hopefully some affordable residential. That's become one of the new hot topics of the neighborhood, and it's always been a hot topic for me, but people are taking it more serious now that more middle and even upper middle class people are finding it harder to afford to buy a house or to get an apartment or get a condo in the neighborhood. And so that conversation is fresh on everybody's lips right now.
It's no secret that Logan Square has become a very popular place to live. However, the area is in danger of losing one of those things that make the neighborhood so attractive: affordable housing.
You know, affordability used to only mean for some people Section 8 or public housing, and I think there was a time not too long ago where you talked about affordable housing and they said, oh no, you're talking about, public housing. I'm talking about everyone now. I mean, working class people are having a hard time staying in the neighborhood and making ends meet.
Alderman Rey Colon told LoganSquare.TV that housing affordability has become an issue for Logan Square residents in all income brackets.
The market is taking off, and while we do have a pretty strong inventory of subsidized housing here in our community, we can bear some more, and we need more housing, whether it's market rate or affordable. We need both, but the people getting hit the hardest are those working class folks that are getting priced out of the neighborhoods. We want to make sure that our workforce is close to their job.
The idea for a transit-oriented development at this location really began to take shape after the second parking meter deal, which transferred the responsibility for this parking lot back to the city.
Even though I voted against the parking meter deal, I was one of 5 to do so. The reality is that the private company does a better job managing the property than the city does. The complaints about the lot and its maintenance went down to almost zero once the Chicago parking meters took over. And after the second parking meter deal and we got the lots back, the complaints all of a sudden resumed. So I started to think, well, what can I do? How can I be proactive? And then I started to look at the whole thing and realize, hey, wait a minute, there's an opportunity here.
This fall, Alderman Colon will host the first of 3 meetings for public input and development of ideas for any transit-oriented development in the neighborhood.
I am having a series of planning meetings that are going to be facilitated by the Metropolitan Planning Council, which will allow anyone who's interested in the neighborhood an opportunity to talk about transit-oriented development, an opportunity to be part of workshops that put them in the driver's seat as far as being developers and coming up with ideas and plans that they can bring forward. And then we'll also have people in the industry who will be able to kind of measure and look at what they're doing and see if they're financially feasible or not. It's called the Corridor Development Initiative, and they've done this in different neighborhoods throughout the city. And so what they do is they take all that feedback and they come up with a final report. Their final report is going to be my kind of like guidelines, and if there is a request for proposals to do a development on this site and the parking and the city-owned parking lot, the community's input will be incorporated and it will be written in to that request for proposal, so that the developers have some framework and guidelines to work from, and that they're actually proposing something that represents the will of the neighbors and leaders in the community.
He also invites those who have input or questions on the Bicentennial Improvements Project to attend one or more of these workshop meetings.
It'll happen over the course of several weeks, and there'll be 3 different ones, and so people can come to all of them or one of them. It'll be held at the Hairpin Lofts, and there's actually a schedule that we'll be posting on my website that people can come. Everyone is invited. Everyone can have input, and again, it'll be facilitated by planning professionals.
At the Emmett Street parking lot for Logan Square TV, I'm Maple Walker.